Now it's my pleasure to present you Bowei Gai, founder of World Startup Report. This guy is gonna travel the world for 9 months. 9 months? And look for startups and report on them. Applause for Bowei Gai.
Hello. Very good. All right, how's everybody doing today? My name is Bowei, and I'm going to tell you some really funny stories about the lessons I learned in China. And we're going to have a great time, but I'm going to need a remote control first. All right, first thing, this is going to need audience participation. So please, everybody, can you please stand up? Stretch, because I know you're tired. I'm tired too. All righty. Now, take out your phone and start tweeting, because Andrea's paid a lot of money for me to come here to talk to you guys today. And if these information doesn't get passed on to your peers, you'll be ashamed. So please, take out your phone. My Twitter name is Bowei, and the hashtag is World Startup RPT. Okay? All right, let's go. Okay, my story. So why am I here? I got started at Apple, where I was on the original team of both the Apple TV product and also the now famous iPhone product. And I wanted to stay at Apple to keep on innovating, but my boss kicked me out of Apple and decided to say, hey, you have too many ideas, you need to go start a company. And that's how I got into startups. I did Snapchat first. It was a small Instagram before the actual age of Instagram. We were a little bit early, but we ended up making about $250,000 in the App Store in about 2 weeks. And I used that money to start my next company, which is Card Munch. It's a simple business card company where you can use your iPhone to scan the business card and turn that into a contact. And our friends at LinkedIn really liked it, and pretty soon we were acquired by LinkedIn. And I've been with LinkedIn for about 2 years, and now I'm finally free. So I'm going to take the next 9 months to travel around the world and do some interesting stuff, which I'll tell you about it at the end of the slide. So I have a very different view from most people about the topic of copying Silicon Valley. Why is that? Because there are people who are trying to do the Silicon Peninsula, or the Silicon Cape, or the Silicon Gulf Oasis Wadi, and Silicon Alley Fen, like Glen. Actually, these are all real names at different parts of the world. And there's some more. And guess how many of these places actually to manage to do some success? Anybody? None? Okay, you guys are all wrong. There's actually one success in here. Silicon Valley. Do you guys know what Silicon Valley is? Okay, well, silicon is the thing you use to make like chips. Silicone is the thing that you use to make these. All right, so Silicon Valley is San Fernando Valley in California. They're the world's largest pornographic film producer, and they're the most successful one out of the entire list. And you don't want to be them. So instead of looking at Silicon Valley, maybe there's another perspective we have. Maybe there's another place we can copy, like slightly easier. So, one place that I have a fascination with is China. About a year ago, I traveled to China with the help of Chris McCann and many other people. They introduced me to all these great people, and I came back. I wrote a report called the China Startup Report. I put it online at 2 o'clock in the morning. By the time I woke up at 8, it was already one of the most popular slides on China on the internet that day. And it got viewed hundreds of thousands of times all over the world, and I've gotten so many questions. So I have a lot of fascination with China, and I learned a lot about it, and I just want to share some of the lessons I learned with you today. Okay, why China? This was me at 12 years old, 1996, the day before I came to America. Ladies, I know, I'm very good looking. Please, calm down. All right, so back in the days, I actually didn't have a computer. I don't know about you guys when you're 12 years old. I didn't have a computer. Nobody had a computer. And I've never heard of the word internet. That was all new to me when I came to America. And I was like, wow, this is great. And I thought China would never catch up to that because we're way behind. I'm sure you guys know what's it like to be under the communist government, like under the Soviet Union. So it's different back then. But when I went back in 2012, actually 2011, 12, this was China. And you would not believe it if I tell you, but it's true. 4 out of the top 25 websites in the entire world right now is coming from China. It doesn't look like a very big number. Out of the other 21 websites, 20 of them are from the United States, and 1 is from Russia. That's it. So going from a country that doesn't even have computers and internet, and in the past 2 decades, becoming one of the world's tech powerhouse. What happened? What's the secret? Well, for some of you, like he says, hey, China is big. Size does matter. And I think Yao Ming is synonymous with big and powerful, so I put that picture on there. Also because I realized that all of you guys really love basketball, according to the Prime Minister yesterday. So a lot of this is going to have reference to basketball, okay? You guys all know basketball, right? Okay, good. You're going to need it. Okay, so size does matter to a certain degree. But if you look at India and Indonesia, which are the 2 of the 5 largest countries in the world, they're not very big on the internet. The biggest website in India is 230th place on the web, and Indonesia is even farther behind. You know that's magnitudes of difference from the first place. So how come China was able to do all these things, although a country like India and Indonesia weren't able to do it? So let's take a look. So the secret, in my opinion, is this thing, again, basketball. It's this thing called home court advantage. Statistically, you're better playing at home down the road because there are all these people in the back heckling you, and you have this home court advantage of winning basketball, if you play at home. So what are some of the advantages of playing at home for these Chinese people? Or actually, it can be disadvantages, because there are 2 ways to look at it. There's either glass is half full or half empty, So let's take a look. The first advantage or disadvantage China has is this concept of extreme competition. This is a graph showing some of the top competitors of Groupon in China. They weren't able to fit all of these companies, all the competitors into this graph, because by the last estimate, there were about between 5,000 to 8,000 Groupon competitors in China. Okay, so that's what you call competition. It's nothing like what you see in the United States or anywhere else in the world. It's extreme competition, and people really have to innovate. And some of these people end up out-innovating even the big companies like Groupon themselves, because Groupon doesn't have time to innovate to the very niche market that we have in China. So what's the end result? The leading company, QQ Tuangou, is actually now 4 times the size of Groupon in China, despite the fact that Groupon dropped $1 billion doing marketing in China. They went nowhere. It was one of the biggest failure case. So the next advantage or disadvantage is this concept of copyright, because Chinese people do not respect copyright at all. We steal everything. And this company, Xiaonei and Renren, is actually a copycat of Facebook. And the funny story behind that is the founder used to say, I don't care about innovation. I just want to copy whatever Facebook does, because Mark Zuckerberg is very, very smart. So when they change a feature, I will change a feature. When they made a mistake and change it back, I will just change it back. I just don't care. Let me just copy. You might think that's a funny thing, just copy. How big can they get? Well, right now, this company is about $1 billion. It's almost the size of Zynga. Do you guys know Zynga? Yeah. So just by copying Facebook and not doing any innovation. They copy even the color scheme, like everything. They're able to become a billion-dollar company. So it's a different concept of how you can build a big company in China. So let's take it a step further. Censorship. This is one thing that we don't like to talk about, but it's true. Like just like the Soviet Union, communist government, they want to control what you say about the government. And China has a great firewall. If you don't cooperate with the government, you will not survive in China, which is why companies like Yahoo and Google all exited China because they just can't cooperate with the government. But that left a big void for the Chinese companies. And companies like Sina are able to cooperate. They actually do these manual filtering of all the content, so they make sure they don't say anything bad about the government. By cooperating with China and filling this void that Google and Yahoo left behind, they're now a $3 billion company, about twice the size of Zynga. Okay? And these are the companies you have never heard of, okay? And they're twice the size of Zynga. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, language. Okay, this is the part that kind of pissed me off a little bit because I'm Chinese, and I realized that internet is not made for Chinese people. Why? Have you ever tried to type Chinese characters into the address bar? It doesn't work. They only let you type alphabetical letters. They don't let you type the complicated hieroglyphics Chinese character in there. So we have no way to easily access the internet. So what do? Instead of typing address into the address bar, we had to go to these big clunky search engines, like the 1990s style web portals, that people don't like to do anymore, But again, that left a huge void that American companies do not like to do. And Chinese company, like this company called Baidu, step in and say, I'm going to create the Google of China. I'm going to create the Yahoo of China. And guess how big they are right now? They're about 19 Zyngas at the moment. It's about $30 billion company. And you've never heard of that, right? Yeah. And next one, trust. Chinese people don't like to trust each other when it comes to commerce. There are a lot of fraud. There are a lot of things that's not perfect yet. I'm not very proud of it, but it's true. But that's okay because we always find a way around the problem. We always find a solution for that. And the solution we came up with for this company, they buy and sell goods. Instead of you buying things and then just have it shipped to you, they actually have a person actually carry the product to you. You don't have to pay them online. They carry the product to you. You inspect it. And if you actually like it, then you pay the carrier the money. And that's it. And you can get all the products you want shipped to you directly at home, have you inspect it, then you can go pay the money. And that's something that American would never do. Like Amazon, they would never hire an army of a few thousand people shipping products all day. That's ridiculous. But Chinese people, labor is cheap, That's our advantage. So that's what we're doing. So this company, Alibaba, is now, I think that's 36 Zyngas. It's about $60 billion company. And in 2015, they are projected, I think, to be about a $150 billion company. That will make it one of the largest companies in the world just by doing things that the foreigners do not want to do. So that's their home core advantage, and that's how they're taking advantage of that. And let's take it, this is the last example that I have. It's the concept of face. You might not understand the concept of face because it's a very Chinese term. But basically, Chinese people get embarrassed very easily. And when they get embarrassed, the concept is they lose face. They want to keep their face clean. They don't want to be embarrassed. And this company called Tencent, they're very interesting. They're like a QQ chat company. So they basically stole the QQ code, stealing again. And then what they did was they put little avatars for representing you. And they would give you a shirt to start out with. And they will ask you in the beginning, hey, do you want to have a nicer shirt? And most people say, yeah, of course I want to have a beautiful shirt. So they get this nicer shirt for free for about a week. And the funny thing is, by the end of the week, they will actually take the shirt away. And instead of having the old shirt back on you, the whole plain T-shirt, what they will have is just a half-naked body. And that's embarrassing to Chinese people. Oh my God, I'm losing face. This is my chat profile, and I can't afford to pay for a shirt. Let me give you 20 cents. Let me go buy that shirt. okay? And this company is known to make these kind of like small incremental like payments, 20 cents, 30 cents at a time. And guess how big this company is? They're about 38 Zyngas right now. They're about $65 billion. And just to put that in perspective, this little 10-cent company is bigger than Facebook plus LinkedIn plus Zynga at the same time. So this is not something you can laugh about. This is serious. These people are going to become some of the world's largest company, and they're doing it by taking advantage of their home court advantage. Let me give you another quick example for another country that's taking advantage of their home court advantage. Israel. They're also known as one of like world's like leading like startup tech like boom town. And their advantage, military. Why? 2 reasons. Number one, they have all the training from the military, and these guys are smart. These are the wicked smart. So some of these like top secret like CIA like people that retire, they end up doing some like really cool work in computer vision, in cryptography, and they own that field. Israelis, they're very good at that. And number 2, they're not afraid to die. Because if you look at the news yesterday, they were getting bombed. And from what I understand, the startup weekend people were still like doing their like hackathons, even though there's like bombs going over their head. They're not afraid to die. They are okay with dying, so they want to live their life to the fullest. And when that is the case, so what if you lose your job? It doesn't matter. I might die tomorrow anyway. I might as well live my life to the fullest. So those people are some of the most entrepreneurial people in the whole world. They are not afraid to start companies. And if you're not afraid to start companies, the chances are you're going to succeed in the future. So that's their home core advantage. So that brings me to my project, the World Startup Report. I'm going to take the next 9 months to travel around the world to 29 different countries and try to understand what's the startup ecosystem like for each place. What's it like in Lithuania? Like, what are the competition? What are the insights? What are your home core advantages? I don't know. This is actually a question for you. So if I just can ask for one big favor from all of you, I want you guys to tell me what you think Lithuania's home core advantage is. So help me write this report so I can show it to the rest of the world. So next time when I'm going to like another country, like presenting this slide, I can put the Lithuania's like example on here. So please tell me, tweet it to me. What is Lithuania's home core advantage? What is it? Is that a meatballs? I haven't had that yet. Chris, we're gonna have meatballs tonight. All right, guys. Thank you.